is the manager of the Jackson County Airport Reynolds Field, Juan Zapata. Hey, Juan.
Bart, hi. Nice to see you. Thanks for having me over.
Yeah, great to see you.
Made me a little hungry there with the Taco Tuesdays.
We've got some for you after your visit with us. So.
Yeah, that's good.
Did you get a plane up in the air to see the
No,
eclipse?
I think we had about 4 airplanes that went to do the solar eclipse sighting from the air. We were looking at it on radar, and there was so many airplanes over by the Ohio-Michigan border. Probably not the safest thing to do.
Really?
As you're trying to look at the eclipse while you're flying the airplane, and then there's a lot of traffic in the air. So, but I did look at it. I went up to the control tower, and we had our solar eclipse glasses, obviously. So that was kind of nice. You know, it's 97% coverage. So that was pretty nice. That was fun. Yeah.
Yeah, it was amazing. And I know everybody felt the same way. Amazing experience.
Yeah.
The airport, we were talking earlier today, it's pretty much an economic engine in Jackson County. Do you keep track of the various ways that the airport contributes to the...
So we don't keep track specifically, but our state agency, the Michigan Department of Transportation, they actually keep track. They figure out how many jobs are being created by individual airports, how much taxes do they pay in both income taxes as well as sales tax. And the latest report that just came out for 2023, and I have to reference the numbers here specifically, but you know, there's 97 jobs that will not be available in the area if it wasn't because of the airport. So that's quite a few, you know, 97 jobs. That's $1.8 million in income taxes that those individuals are paying. The number of aircraft sales in the area, as well as maintaining the airplanes, that produces $4.1 million in sales tax to the state of Michigan. So if we look at the airport, I mean, the economic engine is quite a bit. We produced $189 million for 2023 in economic impact to the community. What we're looking at is the companies that come to do business in Jackson, companies like Blaine's Farm and Fleet, Target, Myers, all the companies that have branches or stores here in Jackson, they fly in to check on their stores. And all the companies or businesses that are based at the airport. We have aircraft repair shops. We have a flight school. We have a company that goes around the whole country doing testing for the FCC to see if there's any leakage of the radiation transmission lines. So there's quite a few companies that are based at the airport itself, and that's what causes this impact on the community. So it's pretty critical, not only just for things like emergency evacuations. At least once a week, we have a Lifeline aircraft that comes in, either picking up a patient, dropping off a patient, or picking up or dropping off organs. And if they can't make it, basically if it's a helicopter, they go directly to the hospital. But if it's farther away than a helicopter will be convenient to use, then they have a fixed-wing aircraft that goes right to the airport, and there's an ambulance waiting to do the transport. So it's a nice asset to the community, for sure.
Well, I know when we have race weekends, the airport is flooded with planes connected to the race.
Exactly, you know, and that's almost something from the past. We still have one NASCAR event a year, and it becomes super busy at the airport. But we're looking at other things like, what about the small business owners that can use aviation for expanding their business? There's a local company, Techniques Incorporated, that they expanded their business over 300% when they acquired an aircraft. So by acquiring an aircraft, they were able to bid for contracts outside of the state, and they're able to commute to their factory. So right now they have a factory in North Carolina where they build the chassis for the NASCAR here in Michigan. They take it in pieces down to North Carolina, and then down there they put it together. And every time there's a damage to one of the NASCAR cars, they go ahead and they fix them. And this is all possible because they're able to commute down to North Carolina. It's about a 1 hour flight, and it's just like commuting by car. They do it by airplane. And it's a tremendous advantage for companies like that.
One of many
Yeah, yeah.
taking advantage of the airport. All right, so the airport, it's been there for a long time, and some of the structures on the airport property are getting a little long in the tooth, including the terminal building, which I've heard, I think in the last 2 years we've talked about, you want to either upgrade it or...
So if you think about it, the airport was founded in 1928. That's when Mr. Reynolds donated the property. In 1927, actually, he donated the property to the city of Jackson. And in 1928, they opened it for public use. So here in another 3 years or so, we're going to be celebrating our 100th anniversary of the airport. But some of the buildings on the airport, like our administration building, that was built in 1934. The main community hangar for the airport, that was built in 1937. The terminal building and the control tower, they were both built together in 1961. So they're basically as old as I am, 62 years old, and I'm in better shape than the buildings. So the buildings really needed a lot of upkeep, a lot of modernization and updates. So this year we started finally on the control tower update, and that started on March 1st. And right now they've gutted out the whole building except for the cab. So if you go in the control tower, 3 floors of the building are gutted out, and the cab is still operational because we need to, because the tower is open still. So as soon as they're complete with the demolition part of it, then they're going to start doing the rest of the work. Right now, if you swing by the airport, you'll see that the 3 walls that are not made out of brick, they're starting to remove the windows and the building covering, and they're going to put the new covering starting now. So that'll be the next thing, as well as the building of the internal elevator on the building.
And those windows, they've been covered up for years, so
Yes.
they're going to be opened up, and you'll be able to.
So the building, we're required by the state of Michigan to have the building look the way it looked back in 1961. So we could not change the shape or the look of the building. Same thing with the terminal building. So we're required to keep the same look. So all of the windows that were covered in 2012, I believe, with a rubberized white paint to help with the cooling and the heating of the building, that's being replaced. All of the cooling equipment and the heating equipment for the building, that's being replaced as well. The electrical system is being updated to handle all the new avionics in the building, as well as the elevator. So it's basically, we kept the bones of the building, but everything else will be brand new. And this will take this building for the next 50, 60 years. So it was a good investment. It's a little bit expensive at $4.7 million, but that will provide a new building to the community, to the Jackson community and the Jackson Airport. Terminal building, the same thing. We're basically right now designing what we're actually going to do to that building, and we're looking at putting a new roof, new windows, new heating and cooling, and updating the restrooms. So it will look relatively new, but it will be just like the control tower building. It'll have the same look as it did in 1961.
Yeah, and I think that's important. You
Yeah.
know, the design of the building is mid-century modern, and it has I think it borrows some of some other prominent airport buildings like the JFK terminal.
Exactly.
It's got some of the same lines and angles, and it's something that we luckily will be able to preserve.
Yeah, no, and it's once again, it's a building that's used for the restaurant. One of the things that people will notice is the restaurant will have the look that it did back in 1961. So instead of having a wall that separates the restaurant from the main atrium of the terminal building, the wall will be gone, and you'll be able to walk into the restaurant without going through that wall and door, that must have been installed sometime in the 70s or 80s.
Huh, so the restaurant occupied more space than what it is in now?
No, it will occupy actually less space than what it is now, with the exception of the patio. So the patio gives it a little bit more seating capacity. But it'll be really a nice update. Once again, another 50, 60 years of usable life on that building, along with the other projects that we're putting in. We're putting community water, so it'll have township water instead of well water.
Mhm.
It'll have updated electrical systems, and that's basically what the money's going into. It's a large part of the building. What I tell people is the Jackson County Airport is the ramp to the rest of the country for the community. So people that are flying to Jackson, this is their first look of Jackson County is
It's
the
our
airport.
front door.
Yep,
All
it's
right.
the front door.
One more thing we want to remind people about, the pancake breakfast coming up in May. But is this what it looked like originally, or what it will look like when it's done?
This is what it will look like, the tower building when it's done. The only thing that has changed is the gray part is the windows, and the blue part is basically the new covering that will have insulation. So the building will be more energy efficient, and it will look a little bit nicer than what it did back in 1961.
Oh,
And
yeah,
this is what it looks now.
oh, wow, yeah.
And going back to the pancake breakfast, so May 26th, which is the Sunday before Memorial Day, is the pancake breakfast. It's our big event for the year. This year we're not having the aviation day, so it's just the pancake breakfast. So it's a great way to come in and support your local EAA chapter. The EAA chapter will provide scholarships to any of our kids that want to learn about aviation or want to make aviation a career. So it's a really great event. It not only supports the EAA, but it provides scholarship funds.
Wow, thanks for all the news and updates, Juan.
Yes, thank you. Thanks for having me.
You bet. Airport Manager, Jackson County Airport Reynolds Field, Juan Zapata. Well, next up.